a big entrepreneur. David, great to see you tonight. Thanks for joining us. Now, we're going to get to Governor DeSantis' vision, especially like ripping apart the bureaucracy in a moment. But the question on everyone's mind, including my daughters tonight, is what happened? I mean, you handled it so well, much better than I would have. But what happened at the top?
Well, what happened at the top, Laura, is just we had 1 million people simultaneously trying to get into a Twitter space, which is an online room. And, I mean, DeSantis just melted the servers. We had so much interest. I mean, I got to hand it to him. Normally it takes a Kardashian to do that. So we just had so much interest. It took about 15 minutes. We've never had that level of scale before on Twitter. I think the biggest room's been around 100,000. And so after about 15 minutes, we just moved the room to my account from Elon's account. And then it really worked perfectly. I think if your viewers want to go on Twitter, the recording is going viral right now. They're going to wonder what all the fuss is about, because once we got started, the audio was perfect. And I think the governor was totally unflappable. And I think one thing I learned about him from this is that once we did get started, and we were, about 15, 20 minutes late, there was no hint of anger or irritation on his part. He was in a great mood. He was, like I said, cool and unflappable. Really, I think made a great impression as someone who doesn't get thrown off his game very easily. No, he certainly doesn't. And again, other people would have been really unhappy. This kind of thing has happened to me a lot, David. So I'm kind of laughing because I'm very empathetic when this kind of stuff happens. I'm glad it happens to Elon Musk because he's a lot smarter than a lot of people like me on technology. Let's talk about the economy, because that was one issue that I've mentioned this with Newt earlier. You probably missed it, but why wasn't more of a focus tonight on the issue, the number one issue that Americans say is bothering them, which is inflation, high prices, and the economy? I mean, you're right. We should have had more questions on that. There's so many other questions that we could have gotten to, but the time just went by so fast. We only had about an hour. And, I wanted to give him time to first lay out his vision, and he did that at the top. And then we got into some of these controversies that have been surrounding him. I asked him about this NAACP travel advisory. I asked him about Disney. We asked him about the book bans, because there's a lot of people out in the country who have heard all of these narratives in the mainstream media, and they've never heard directly from him on these issues. And so I wanted to give him the chance to respond to those things. And then, we talked about major issues like immigration. We talked about education. There were a lot of issues that we did talk about. I think it's fair. Maybe we should have talked more about the economy, but we also talked about, what a great, I think, economy the state of Florida has. And there's going to be opportunities for more of these town halls. So, we'll get to it next time. David, can you give us a sense of the room? Because we were all dying to were you guys together? Was Elon Musk even there? Was he in Europe? Yeah. I mean, we didn't know where anybody was. No. Elon and I were together in a conference room in Twitter headquarters, and there were a bunch of engineers gathered around us. And again, it's because we've never had an event like this on social media where you've got literally 1 million plus people trying to break down the doors to get into a Twitter space. And the only way to really test the scalability of a tech platform is you just get to that next level of scale. And so we had engineers there who were helping us out, and we just made the switch to my account. And then, like I said, it worked perfectly. But it was me and Elon sitting next to each other, and we tried using his phone, then we tried using my phone, and it worked out great. So DeSantis was in, I think, Florida. And so this is the magic of a Twitter space, is that everyone can be in different places, no problem. That was fun, because we had no idea where anyone was. We wanted photos of all of you, but, we got none of that. Really quickly, Ukraine was an issue that I care about a lot, because I'm kind of against all these wars of choice, and I think we're blowing a lot of money and not sure what we're going to get out of it in the end. But what about if DeSantis wins? What do you think is going to happen on that score? Well, I'm 100% with you. I mean, I think Ukraine is a proxy war of choice. I don't think we should be in wars of choice. I think it's so dangerous to be in an escalatory spiral with Russia, which has thousands of nuclear weapons. What I've heard DeSantis say about this issue is that what's happening in Ukraine does not rise to the level of a vital American interest, and we should be trying to achieve a ceasefire. So, my take on it is that where DeSantis is that he would work to achieve a ceasefire as president, whereas my sense is that Biden just keeps trying to ratchet this up and escalate this thing. So I think I'm with you on this, Laura. All right, David, we really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you must be exhausted. I hope you go have a tequila shot after that. That was fun. Come back soon. Thanks so much.